Okay, race day is almost here, and how successful you are in your marathon depends a lot on what you do in the next 7 to 10 days. And it could be the difference in you hitting a PB and running your fastest time or crumbling in the final 10K. But here's the thing, most runners get the taper wrong. If you want to show up feeling fresh and fast and ready to crush your goal, you need to taper smart. In this video, I'll share with you 5 simple proven tips to help you smash taper week in order to get the absolute most out of your training whilst avoiding the common mistakes. Number 1, cut back on volume but keep the intensity. For me, that final week to 10 days looks like it's 50% of the usual volume that I've been doing, but my sessions are brought back. So that final weekend long run, the Sunday before the race, is about 16 to 20 kilometers, not so quick. And then that Wednesday interval session is something around 15 times 1 minute. And the purpose there for both of the sessions is to reduce the volume so that you're freshening up while still keeping the zip in the legs. Number 2, prioritize sleep. Sleep is your best recovery tool, especially this week, and it's going to allow you to hit race day feeling fully energized. The way I like to attack it and think about the week is that if I get to the night before the race and I don't have any sleep at all, I've accumulated enough this week in order for me to go into that race feeling fully confident that I can run a PB without any night sleep at all. That's a great place to be in the day before, but it takes some forward planning. So prioritize sleep this week. Number 3, stick to your routine. It's easy to get to the expo and want to try new shoes or a new diet or a new gel. Familiarity breeds confidence. So if you stick to what you know and don't change anything this week, it's going to be very, very easy for you seamlessly to go into race day feeling confident. Number 4, carbohydrate depletion and then loading. So the thinking here is to deplete your carbohydrates at the start of the week and then load on carbohydrates in the last 2 or 3 days so you get to the start line feeling fully energized. The reality is that most runners overdo it, and actually a lot of runners get to the start line overweight. If you are reducing your training volume whilst keeping your diet the same, the chances are you're already carbohydrate loading. And again, it's about keeping this final week as similar as possible, as familiar as possible. So we're not going into race day with anything different. Why should it be any different to your typical long run? The runners get into this phase where they're overthinking things. They're looking on the internet and they're looking at carb depletion, carb loading, when in actual fact, because they've reduced the volume, they're already carbohydrate loading. So what my typical final week would look like is 50% volume, but the same diet, and therefore with a typical diet of 50% of carbohydrates, I'm already carbohydrate loading, and I'm going into that final day with no change, but feeling great and super fresh and fit, ready to go. Number 5, plan your race day strategy. Use this week to get to Sunday or your race day knowing exactly how you're going to execute when it comes to pacing and when it comes to nutrition. If you've got those 2 solid and you know exactly what you're going to do, but you're also visualizing, what am I going to do when it starts to get hard? Have I thought about the course? Are there long stretches where I'm potentially not going to see anybody and I've got to dig in and get into my own zone? You've got those things boxed off, you're going to be entering race day super confident and ready to run a PB. And that's how you taper like a pro. So it's very smart. You don't change much at all. And it's much like your running and training schedule. It's doing the right things well and knowing that this week, probably because you've got that excess energy, you're going to start to overthink. Don't do that. Just go into your race feeling confident and fresh and knowing that all the hard work is behind you. Good luck, and let me know, what marathon are you ready and tapering for right now?